Welcome back to Tabletop to another day on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels. It's me, Trent, here to show you one of the most degenerate and evil decks yet again. Today I have on the platter Magistus, a very weird spellcaster archetype that revolve around equipping cards to themselves from the extra deck and using monsters as equipment inside the spell and trap zone in order to gain additional effects. How they generally work is that Zoroa, along with Endymion, they can attach themselves through their effect by targeting one monster on the field that's a Magistus monster. And these are the only two cards inside our deck that can actually equip themselves. The reason why this is important is because we can get Artemis, which allows us to fetch out a Magistus monster and put it into our hand. Now, if you guys are familiar with the Alistair engine, you'll be very surprised that she actually has other uses outside of summoning up Mechaba, which is actually not too bad if you put in the invoked engine here, but I think I'm trying to show you guys the Magistus engine here today. This is actually my fourth attempt at doing this. The first two times, the audio didn't record, so we have a little bit more experience than usual to do this, and that's why this video is going to be a little bit later than usual. Rayola allows us to get a Magistus trap card or spell card into our hand, and Crawley allows us to special summon him from our hand onto the field by attributing either a spellcaster from our hand or field. And he doesn't have any enter the battle effects, so it's not great to have him out unless you really need to from this effect. His main benefit or main usage is more so to act as fodder for all the other Magistus monsters, because we need additional monsters in order to trigger out some of the synchro effects or tuner effects here. And when inside the graveyard, this thing has an effect, and Rayola has the same effect, which allows us to equip a Magistus card from our graveyard to a Magistus monster on the field by banishing the card inside the graveyard, which I mean Rayola and Crawley respectively. And Rayola has a second ability where she can return a banished monster from our graveyard, from the banishment into the graveyard, which isn't as useful, but it does come in clutch sometimes. We have Zoroa, which when he attaches himself, he can summon a spellcaster that's a level 4 or lower from our graveyard or on our hand in defense position. So he's mainly the one that we're cheating out in order to get all the value. He's also a tuner monster, which works hand in hand with our Barrow Load and Devour Him over here. I'll explain what they are in a second. Endymion has the ability to equip, and the second ability is to destroy a card from our spell and trap zone and draw a card and put a card in the back pocket or into the bottom. And the cards that we have here, magic-wise, we have Monster Reborn. In order to get some value back, we have 3 Magistus Vitras, which allows us to special summon a Magistus monster in our graveyard and special summon it. However, the secondary effect is that it prevents the destruction of Magistus cards inside the spell and trap zone once per turn. And Magistus Trismagus is our main bread and butter. It prevents our Magistus monsters that are equipped to be destroyed from battle. Also allows us to special summon one without any cons. So, not too bad. So you open up with an Alistair or something, and then you go into one of the Magistus monsters. That'd be pretty sick. Or to get some of the special enter the battle effects. But unfortunately, we're not going to be doing that today. I'll showcase the invoked engine with Magistus one day, but probably not today. The spell power mastery, pretty good as well. Seeks out the Endymion. The invocation lets us summon Awas, which I'll explain in a second. We have 2 Twin Twisters because, as I said, Zoroa can summon things from the graveyard, so sometimes it just makes sense in order to get some hand advantage or board advantage. We're going to drop this here and to prevent other people from comboing out or negating our effect. It's really good, and we're going against Tritons, anything with negate effects, XC monsters, synchros, you name it. We do this, then we sacrifice a monster from our hand or something, they cannot do anything in response. And that is crucial in a lot of the meta today. Infinite Impermanence as well, hand trap obviously. Also inside the field trap, we have 3 copies of Max Seas, 2 copies of Max Ash Blossoms, and an Effect Filler who is also a tuner as well. And as you guys can see, I'm running 7 plus 2, 9 hand traps. A quarter of our deck is almost hand traps. Very crucial inside this kind of play. I have 1 Lightning Storm here, just so we have the ability to destroy spell and trap cards or attack additional monsters. Although I might remove it for a Raigeki. Or, yeah, maybe I'll move her Raigeki, because I'm not going to lie, we have a lot of negation in terms of our things here. Because Ninmaru, when she's on the field, as a spell card, we can trigger a card on their side and then destroy a thing from their side as well. That is a spell or trap card, whether it's set or not. Pretty decent. In order to remove stuff, we have Virolia, which is our ultra rare, which allows us to special summon a Magistus monster. However, if we do that, we're locked out of it. We cannot use anything that's not a Magistus monster until the end of this turn, which is very, very bad for us. It's good to set up during turn 1 or turn 2, but it's pretty bad overall. There is a boss monster with the Magistus archetype, which is the Calamity Varum, which is not available currently inside Master Duels. I really wish he was, because if he was here, we have a win con. We have our end goal. We don't have to go find these other things. We can go pure Magistus and then into the win. But as it stands, it won't be able to win the game by itself. It's very sad, but that's the reality that we are currently facing. But sure, it is what it is. So I'll tell you guys 2 things. The first thing is when they're equipped, they have a different effect, and when they're on the field, they have a different effect. Bahram, when he's equipped, it cannot be destroyed by spell or trap cards, the equipped monster. Remember, it's very important the wording here, the equipped monster, not the Magistus equipped monster. So you put this onto something like one of your other creatures, they cannot be destroyed by spell or trap cards. And then once per turn, if he dies on the field, as in he's an actual monster and he dies, all face-up cards our opponent controls is destroyed. But the second effect is if it's equipped, at the start of the damage phase, if this monster is equipped, destroy the monster. So this is very important, because if you just destroy it, this means they don't get a chance to flip over either. So they have some sort of Shadal deck that works on flipping. Don't work for that, my homie, because we can destroy you before you even flip, which doesn't trigger the effect, I believe. Yes, because we're not moving it to the graveyard, we are destroying the opponent's monsters before they get the flip effect. So Vara, pretty damn good. Synchro monster, not gonna lie, we had the other card that'd be a lot better too. We had Ninmaru, which allows us to destroy a card when it's equipped, or no, when it's equipped, let's destroy a spell or trap card, but targeting a card on our side, or we can attack 2 times per turn per monster, which is pretty good. Not going to lie, we can do something like, I mean, if you want to tech in like some sort of math mech here, I can say you can do that. I actually think that would work inside this kind of archetype. I haven't tried it yet, but I don't think it's very strong or potent here, because it requires 3 different tributes up to 12. We can be able to treat it out, but there are better things to be had than the Geomac Final Sigma, which is the, let me have a look here, Zeus just to remove their field, Access Code Talker to remove and destroy, Appaloosa to negate, and just, Artemis to go up, Chryson to get us into the chain. Like I said, spellcasters, you definitely have to run Selene, because then you go to access code really quickly. Look at the amount of magic cards in here, the amount of spell counters here. We only need 3 on Selene in order to win the game, to go into access code, but that's not enough to win sometimes. We have to be able to beat them on the crackback. So if they manage to survive, there's only one way around it. We have to be able to use, there's a few other things, like we can use Barrel Load Servant Dragon again, like a second copy of it this time. However, since access code is in the graveyard or the bin, we have 4 counters on it that's ending the game. That's probably what I would do, in all honesty, if not for the fact that I don't own a second copy of Barrel Load, and I don't really want to waste my ultra rares on something like this. I'd rather use it on Cross Out Navigator or another copy of Forbidden Drops it, just to have the full place out of it, because it's just so useful inside this meta. But other than that, I think we can also put in a Barrel Sword Dragon would be decent, but I'm not too sure what to take out here, because they're quite crucial. Maybe a Ninmaru, just to take it out. We also have 1 copy Invocation, just to fusion summon up our Iwas if we need it. Iwas has a special ability, so when it's equipped, it gives 1,000 attack points and defense points. However, when it's on the field, you can target a card on the field, and during the main phase, we can take control of it for the rest of the game until it is destroyed. So that's pretty good. As you can see, it works a lot in, I don't know, it's a very control-y kind of deck that can just get out of control by ramping up into our win cons while destroying or disarming our opponents. It's not exactly game-breaking. It does have weaknesses. It can get stopped. However, if it doesn't, and we also have ways to counterplay as well and rebuild, we still have a lot of potential in order to come back in the game. And I'll show you guys all that in today's games. So, without any further ado, it's time to duel. Okay, what do we got here? We are on the play. So, not too bad actually. So we use Spell Power Mastery to cheat out a Ash Blossoms if they have one. Opponent currently is testing for stick. Alright, there it is. So you only use Ash Blossom once per turn, which is pretty good for us. Hopefully they don't have any effect values in here or max Cs. That's what I'm kind of scared of. So Rayola and Ham can activate her. When she enters the battlefield, we can go find a Magistus spell or trap card from our deck, put it into our hand. The card I'm going to find is probably going to be Theology, because she herself cannot equip herself, so we need this card. And, well, it's a reason why there's only 1 copy. Let's say it like that. It's only here for this particular instance in combo. And I'll explain that because we need to get the Artemis turn 1. Crawley is the only one that can't do it himself. He's a dead card in hand, but we need him in order to populate the thing with Magistus cards. So activating Artemis, after equipping her from the extra monster zone using Theology, we can find a Zoroark from hand. But if we find the Zoroark, we can go into our lad here. So the best play to make here actually is to summon up our Endymion, and then we're going to set up the other way. So we're going to use Trismagus over here. Ability allowing us to summon Endymion over here. Trismagus' first effect allows you to special summon a level 4 spellcaster monster from our hand onto the field. an enemy as effect, allowing us to target any Magistus monster on the field when equipment inside the extra deck. That is a Magistus monster. And the one we're going to pick is probably going to be Var himself. Or even Maru. It doesn't really matter too much what it is, just remember what they do. This one allows us to be prevented from destroyed from spell or trap cards, so we can equip it later inside the graveyard onto a monster we actually need. But for now, I think this is basically it. We can go into Riolia now, or we can go Fusion Summon into the card that we want. Both are pretty damn good options. So we're going to go into Riolia, targeting Riolia normal into the Enmia, going to Riolia of the XYZ summon. Remember to put her in defense position because she's shit otherwise. She'll die. There we go. Defense mode, go ahead. Activate the ability. So we will remove one card from her. We're going to remove Riolia because when she's inside the graveyard, she can exile herself or banish herself to go into banishment, and then we can target a monster on the field and then equip it. We're going to pick her for that particular instance. Over here, we're going to activate Zorua, who special summons himself onto the effect of our Riolia here. We will now activate the ability of our Riolia. Well, activate the ability of Zorua the Magistus over here, targeting himself. And then we can find ourselves... What should we find here? Doesn't matter too much. We just want an out on the field. Because when Zorua is targeted or equipped, we can activate the second ability, allowing him to equip himself. So we're going to pick this. So Riolia from the graveyard comes out, but her effects are negated for this turn. From here, I would go into Barrowload Savage Dragon, or Varum. The reason why I can't go into Barrowload is because we're locked out due to the Riolia Wondrous effect over here, so we can't actually use a Magistus monster. So from here on out, I think the better idea is either to go into Varum or go into our Iwas. Both are decent things to choose. I think I'm going to go do it like that then. So we use the invocation, activate the Iwas like such. Put you over here and put you down here. Okay, so I can use you, and then I can use yourself as material. Okay, because we can, I forgot that invocation also allows you to use monsters inside the spell and trap zone that are Magistus monsters, if you're summoning a Magistus monster yourself. So now we have a quick effect, which allows us to essentially cheat that, or, take control of one of their cards. I can also exile this as well if I wanted to, or banish it, put it into the field, then put down the Artemis onto Zorua, which would probably be the better play to make here. Because once we are equipped, we cannot be destroyed by damage. And we equip it with something like... I don't know. We equip it with something... Oh, really Wondrous would be the move to make here. We'll equip you with Varum here. So now she is immune to being destroyed by spell trap cards and battle once per turn. We also have an ability to, basically steal their stuff if we wanted to. If we didn't have the invocation, I would have went into Varum straight away, just normal Varum, because when he dies, he destroys all face-up cards our opponents control. So it depends on what kind of matchup you're against or what kind of board you want to set up. This has a couple of ways in order to defend ourselves, as well as, being able to bring us closer to the victory point. Opponent's playing Gears, I assume. Here's someone an Earth monster, okay. It's not too bad. We can take control of it later on. It's prompting us here because on top of being controlled by an opponent's field, it also gives an extra 1,000 attack points, and defense points, which we can target our own monsters with. But I'd rather use it for the effect that we get to control them. Oh boy, I think our opponent's playing Infinite in the trackers. That's an issue. We don't have any negates here, so his effect here is... Not yet. No. Our opponent's just finishing up with the XE summon, applying this effect. Okay, what's the opponent planning here? That's level 10, level 10. Take no battle damage, interesting. What is the opponent planning here? Okay, here we are. There's the Dreadnought Cannon. Is there a quick effect? Detach from material, the target one face up in the field. That target is unaffected by card effect except its own until the end of this turn. It's really sad. It's a quick effect as well. We need to wait for him to do it, and then we can do it in response. Otherwise, if ours is on first, then he can just chain it back. And then he'll be unaffected by our effect. Really unfortunate here. Guess we have to do the backup plan. I really didn't want to do the backup plan. So instead of targeting Iwas to this, we can target it to here. Fine, I'll do it now, you monster. Yeah, he makes himself immune to it. But we're targeting ourselves. But Trent, why would you do that? Because now we're immune from being destroyed by battle once per turn. Well, that didn't help. At least Rio Leon is going to be alive. Oh wow, you did not read that, did you? Okay. So we can't kill them through our effect, but they can't kill us either. Not too bad. Although the graveyard's looking rather bleak here. We're going to use our witch here. We can go into Zeus from here, which should be the play. We can also activate this in response and remove that. But if we go into Zeus, we won't be able to summon the card that we need. It's very unfortunate. So we wait for him to activate the effect first, right? And then we can do Forbidden Droplet in response. This way we can still use Zeus afterwards. That would be the play. Discarding Transmagus? No, discarding this. Because we still have the activated ability of her if we wanted to. Then we can special summon and go into more of our monsters inside our extra monster zone, but we currently only have one Varum left and an Inmaru. Which ain't looking great here, ladies and gentlemen. What is the play here? Sure, let's switch to attack position and then go for it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And then could do this now. Chain that up to do other stuff. Zarwar into Varum. Be another attack. Then we'll lock ourselves out again. If we do this way, we have Zeus. Is Zeus or Varum the most important thing here? I actually think it's Varum. So we detach the materia from Riolia. Activate the effect now. Oh, we're locked out and we can't do anything. Interesting. Okay. I have to do this in order. So we go to battle. Attack. Activate the ability of Valorant before damage is declared. When he uses his quick effect, that's when we use it in response. Okay. Cool. He's not affected, but now he is. Let's do it like this. Sending to the graveyard. I think Lightning Strike has to go. And Lightning Strike has to go. Oh, negate the effect of all monsters on the field. I don't know what that's gonna do though. So you're negated, but this is inside the spell a trap zone, so it's not actually a monster currently, so you'll still die. And as you can see, no Zeus trigger. Very sad. We can do that next turn though. The only issue is this piece of shit here. That's annoying. Meeting Maru, which is inside the graveyard, but we already lost one of our fodder here. Oh, it's unfortunate. So let's turn into a battle of our tuition here. Oh god. This has got to be an arduous battle. We need to draw into our monsters. No, we can't. We have to draw into our reanimation spell. Because monsters would just get negated on the field. Night Express Knight. You can normal summon this without tributing, but its attack becomes 0. Which isn't bad for them. Yeah, opponent is just not going to fight us at all. Activate the ability of Express Bullet Train at the end. Adding a card to their hand. Interesting. We are literally hanging by such a small little combo here. There is no conceivable way that we should be alive for this long. Oh god damn it. What card did they put back in their hand? Special summon it. Okay. Let's do it like this. Declare the battle. Activate the effect of Vyram to destroy the card. Put it into the graveyard. Go into main phase 2. We can actually... Oh, we can't even go into Zeus. That's for the best anyway. You don't want to go into Zeus. Discarding a card to grab a card. We're going to use our Maxi here. Very fortunate they did that first. Alright. That's a Crawley. That is a Crawley. There's a Sky Palace. Oh boy. That's a very annoying card. No Twin Twisters. Haha. He forgot that he's also negated this turn. What a moron. Well, that sucks. That ability to put it into the graveyard is very uncalled for. I'll have you know. NGL. Why didn't he attack? Oh, it cannot attack the turn this is activated. Okay, so the man's not reading his cards either. That's a card. That's a card. We need a Twin Twister. No Twin Twisters have been harmed in the making of that pot. We can summon up 3 monsters this turn, but God, if it can do anything against that. We can keep hitting it, but that's not going to do anything except kill it. We need to get rid of this. We can get rid of this actually this turn if I wanted to. Should probably do. I also want to get rid of this. This thing got some refield. This one stops us. And it stops him too. So Crawley into Trismagus. Riolia. Riolia won't be able to trigger because of the ability over there. But we need Riolia to go to the graveyard. No, we're not going to activate her effect because she's just going to die to it. I need you to go to the yard, please. You can also send Crawley to the yard as well, then equip 2 things. It's very specific on the things we need to do here. We can do this twice. Granted, if Crawley dies now, I can activate the ability, right? So you, kill you, activate the ability to remove you, then you. Can I outright win this game, this turn? If I remove this is the question. Can I remove that and win? I can remove it for sure. Remove you. Can I go to access code from here? Can. Okay, Riala coming out. Targeting Artemis. Artemis, I'm going to put you down for an Enruru here. Enruru, I'm going to activate your effect here. Targeting yourself, and then this, I believe. Or the Trismagus. Probably the Trismagus. So I really want... No, it's not. That's not it. That's not it. Crap, I can't go back. Oh, whatever. I needed the Trismagus in order to special summon this card. It's very sad. Sure, it is what it is. Go down Vitra. Summoning out Zorua. Zorua, we're going to go into our effect. We could have just equipped him to here, but I don't want to do that. Because I want to keep her out as fodder for a second here. We're going to target Zorua with the last Envaru that we have, I believe. Either works. We can only use this effect one first turn. We can only use each effect once per turn. Right, that makes sense. So we put you out like this, and then once it's equipped to Zorua, we can target a card inside our graveyard or hand, special summon it. We're going to pick Endymion. Endymion now activated. Artemis wants to hatch a ride in here, but I'm not going to let her. So from here on out, we can go into Jet Synchron, into a tuner monster, into Selene. We can also go into Hita if we wanted to. Do they have any fire monsters? They have an Ash Blossom, yeah. Interesting. We can also go into Barrel Load. For the Omni Negate. We should probably probably be a better move. If that were the case, I should have summoned Crawley. I can still do that now, then equip it later. So 1, 2, tree, or just 1, 2, tree. Let's do it like this. Yeah. Tributing Zoroark, Tributing Artemis. Both you guys go to the graveyard here. Hita will now come on out. From Hita, activate the Hita effect, allowing us to target their graveyard for one of their Ash Blossoms special summon into a link zone that we're pointing to, like such. From here, we're going to use our material yet again to summon out Selene. Selene, we're going to activate this, and then this, I believe. That is to play, yeah. 2 materials. Go ahead. Come on out, Selene. There we go. Selene comes in with a couple of counters here. 1, 2, and tree. The tree counter is removed from Selene. We can now tribute or target a monster from our graveyard, put it into the battlefield as a spellcaster, or from our hand. There's a few things we can do here. Going to access code is probably the best move here, because then we can remove everything that they own. And we can still use Zoroark for next turn to go into our barrel load. So we can use you like such, remove you, put you out with the Crawley, and then we can equip you. Oh, I misplayed that. I could have just attacked into this. Yeah, that would have made more sense. So barrel load or to access code. Access code will win us. Destroy these two anyway. Crawley won't be able to do it. He needs one more turn to do what he wants. You're still negated. I probably should have removed this and put this on. Then I can activate enemy as effect in order to trigger the extra thing to kill this guy. Yeah, that would have been a better idea. Sure, it was a mistake. So take you out. Take you out. Go ahead, Selene. Go to the graveyard, please. Access code. Please come on out, sir. Here we go. Activating our ability here. Selene. 5,300 attack points. Activate the ability of Access Code Talker, removing Artemis from the field. Destroying you. Removing the second card. Hita from here. Banishing it, destroying their field. And we can deal probably enough to kill them actually, so activate Crawley, remove this, go into a face-up attack position, and then that should be enough to win the game. GG's. Magistus. Sorted. Boom. We got there. We got there. Okay, let's do it. We are currently on the draw. Meladoch. Cheesy, if you're watching this, I hope that we can destroy this Meladoch deck together. I'm using a 3rd tier deck against with a 4th rate duelist. We can do this. Come on. Okay. So, and this is normal summoned monster from your deck to your hand. Sent to the graveyard. Shuffle this card into the deck. Alright. I said we negate this now, right? Pray that the hand doesn't have some sort of extra ability here. No, no extra ability. So, any other monsters you want to cheat out here? Just add it to your hand or shuffle into your main deck with card effect. Add one Meladoch monster from your deck to your hand. So I gotta remove this first before they start generating value. So if this thing gets shuffled away, I'm not too concerned. It's just this thing generating value from it when it gets shuffled away is the issue. We could Lightning Storm. Could Lightning Storm. Then we can go into a lock. If this deck is what I think it is. A lot of traps. No, that's trap tricks. Meladoch is more puddings? I think it's pudding, isn't it? Sure, let's test for stick first. We'll use Spell Power Mastery to see if we can grab ourselves an Endymion without any failure. Nope, no stick. Okay. So I don't really want to waste a Lightning Storm straight off the bat. But I also want to destroy that. We already have enough creatures on the board anyway, so it doesn't matter too much what we do. There's currently 2 cards, so we can't go into Selen here and then go into Access Code this turn. A few things we can do though. You can go into a bigger lock. So would Appaloosa be a good idea? Because Appaloosa into Trismagus. Sure, I've never tried this play, but bear with me, guys. We are going to use Riolia as spec, and I think we can find a very nice card from our deck here. So Trismagus would be the next card to play. Yeah, I was thinking of putting more cards into our hand, but that's not the play. Alright, Trismagus. So, Riolia finds us a magic card. Trismagus allows us to special summon one more card from our hand onto the field as a level 4 spellcaster monster. We're going to pick Zorolia. It doesn't have its effects negated. So from here, we can activate the ability of the Zoroark, which allows him to equip something to himself. We are going to go find a Ninraru over here. Ninraru now on the board. We activate the effect of Zoroark, who is now equipped. When he's equipped, we can special summon a card from our hand or graveyard, put it onto the battlefield. We will now activate the effect of Ninraru, targeting Ninraru herself, and then targeting this card over here, so they don't generate value once we kill this. From here on out, we're going to have to do something a little bit different. We can go into barrel load from here, but we probably shouldn't since there's no Artemis on the field. Yeah, no Artemis in yet. We can easily get one out. Generate some value that way. But probably not the play there. I can do this, do that. Yeah, makes sense to do it this way, right? So we get rid of Endymion. Put you over here, like such. Then we activate this ability here, allowing us to find the barrel load. Targeting our Zoroark, targeting... Oh, I can't target this. Oh yeah, right, you can't. Has to be a tuner or a non-tuner monster. It can't be one of these lads. So we have to go a bit... We have to go further. We have to go even further. I can go into this. You two into there. Move you back. That gives me an extra card. So Ninraru. Then we can go into our combo piece of having Zeus. Alright, so face-up attack position here. So sacrificing Zora Riolia, we're going to summon Ninraru, the Magistus monster, which allows us to attack twice if she's equipped, or to destroy a card. But since Artemis is on the field, if there's a Magistus monster being summoned, she can equip herself to it. Which is not too bad. This allows us to activate the effect of Artemis, allowing us to find a card from our deck that is a Magistus monster card, and the one we want to get is going to be Zoroark, because we already have the Vitra to start this whole thing again next turn, so we're not too bad. We can also activate the effect now as well, and then we can find one card back from our graveyard. So pick out Riolia, actually, just in case we need the extra spellcaster. Actually, no, Riolia should be inside the yard in case we need to grab something. So we're going to get back Endymion, because we can banish Riolia in order to target Ninraru to Ninraru or something like that for later. From here on out, I think I want to go into Zeus. So we're going to attack here. This goes to the graveyard, but instead of going to the graveyard, it gets shuffled back into the deck. So there's value to be had there. We're going to go into our second main phase here. Activate the ability, go into Zeus. Alright, target you. Face at defense position, because we're cultured. Okay. So then we can start this entire process again next turn. End of turn. Should be fine. Opponent is down quite a hand size here. think this is how you would combat the Magistus engine anyway. It's very specific that this happened. If you do kind of destroy a battle, you can only use the effect once per turn. Yeah, sure. I'll do this now. Remove you two. So you can't tribute this. So you got another special summon card inside that hand of yours? Where's that game? I think it's game. Alright. Let's do it like this. Duology. Okay. Switch you into attack position. 3,000, 4,300. That's what we need. Or 4,600. 4,600. Easy enough. So, Zorua, come on out, sir. Activate the ability of Zorua, targeting himself with a card that we need. Don't want to use Theology here. Might as well do the Artemis, because why not? Activate the effect Zorua. When he's equipped, we can special summon a card from the graveyard. Doesn't matter where we come from. Queue out like such there. Don't activate the effect because it's just going to get negated. We might need it next turn. From here, we can just use the effect over here. Earning ourselves another one of you, Crawley. Crawley might be the play here. So with Crawley out, we activate the effect. We tribute Riolia. Now we tribute the card from our hand. This way we have 3 material on the board. Like such. So that's 6,008. 6,300. We'll 1,300 short. So do it like this. Granted, there's a more optimal way of doing things. I'm just gonna summon Barrowload here, tributing Zora, tributing Riolia. Because we can use the tuner, and now that Artemis is inside the yard, we can actually use her as material. And this should bring us to the ability to finish the game. And opponent packs it in. Okay, we are on the play yet again, but we drew into the dead card, Crawley. Not ideal at all. Pot of Desire, please. Ruin my day. No Ash Blossoms, cool. Okay, not too bad, we got Theology. This is really... I would have been so peeved. This is what you call a dead hand. If not for the fact we drew this, or one of our other Magistus monsters. Why would you infinite imperm the Crawley? This man clearly has never played against Magistus. Crawley is the one thing you would never try to negate. No, I'm not gonna negate that. Why would I negate that? Sure. So we're going to activate Duology, targeting Crawley to grab an Artemis from the extra deck. So what Duology does, it just finds a card from the extra deck to equip to a Magistus monster. That's also a Magistus monster. So the one we're going to pick is Artemis. Like always. Artemis will now trigger. Activating her ability. We're going to use it to find a Zorua. Or even one of ye. Okay, so a few things we can do here. Just gotta make sure we haven't lost too much. 1 Zorua, 2 Trez matches. Not the end of the world. Okay, so we need to have you guys here. So what we're gonna do now is kind of like the plan B that I generally do not advise doing unless you really have to. So we're going to send the Riola from our hand into the graveyard to special summon the Crawley. So let's do that. Coming out, my friend. Now that he's out here like such, we can go into Iwas if we wanted to, but that's not the play. Since we don't have any synchro monsters or anything here, we should probably just... It has to be 2 different ones, right? For this one to trigger. Yes, it has to be 2 different ones. It's still possible from here if we use Monster Reborn. Just probably the play here. So using Monster Reborn, we can get Riolia from our yard, putting her onto the field. Then we can still get a magic card from our deck and put it into our hand. The card we're going to find is probably going to be the Vitra. Not going to lie. Since we have all these cards inside the graveyard already, Zoroark can just trigger himself from now on. So reviving things is kind of the priority. The next thing we can do now is we're going to be using Zoroark after we go into Riolia. So remove you. Then we can trigger that. That makes sense. No. Yeah, makes sense. No. Sure. Well, his other ability is he can change his attribute. But you generally don't want to do that. Oh, you can, because you can use Riolia. I didn't need to use Monster Reborn. I'm an idiot. That's what Crawley's for. You learn something new every day. Sure. Tis what it is. Put this down here like this. Put Riolia, the Wondrous Mage. Then we activate the ability of Riolia, which will lock us out of the game a little bit. So we're going to put Riolia inside the graveyard here. Then we're going to find a Magistus monster from our deck and put it into the field over here like such. We're going to pick Zoroark because why not? And Zoroark will now trigger. We're going to pick himself so that we can find the... so we can get another card essentially. We can go Ninraru if we wanted to. Or into this. I think this inside the yard is a lot better, because this is immune to destruction from spell and trap cards. And when Zoroark is targeted, we can find a card from our graveyard or our hand, put in defense position here, as such. Then we can use Invocation here in order to summon up our last card that we need. Right, so... You. Okay. So activate Invocation. Summon Iwas. Remove Zoroark. Remove the Varum as well. This way we have more stuff to work with next turn. This is the card that I'm kind of talking about when we can just mind control stuff. Granted, we could also... We could have removed one of the Crawleys or the Riolia. That way we can re-equip you in the graveyard. But I don't think that was the play to make, because I just want Zoro in the background for next turn anyway. This way we can do a lot more stuff. Yeah, so Raigeki would not be ideal here. We are protected somewhat. Yeah, so we can do into this, remove you, put it into our hand. That would be a play too, wouldn't it? That'd be a play. So target you, target Crawley, target Riolia, put her in face down position inside the field here. Since there's a spellcaster inside the graveyard, we can activate Ninraru's effect, allowing us to trigger, putting this back into the yard, because we're going to banish this in a second. Bringing back the Zoroark. We're not going to activate the ability here. We're going to activate the effect inside the graveyard in order to trigger Crawley. Crawley goes into banishment. This allows us to protect one of our cards for next turn, which we're going to pick Riolia. There we go. We're going to equip her with Varum. This way she's immune to being destroyed by spell traps. And also during combat, if they attack her, we can destroy it before damage is commenced. So this is as much as we can do with the hand that we were given. The moment we summoned Zoroark with Riolia, we were locked out of Magistus, locked out of the extra deck except for Magistus. That's why we couldn't go into Barrel Out or Tapalooza or to something bigger. But it is what it is. MST. Oh no. I don't like no MST. What you gonna do, opponent? What you gonna do? You got a... Oh god. They are playing Tri-Brigades. And we need to remove that from the field straight away. Tenki into any Zodiac would be just absolutely atrocious for us. Even if they have a Zodiac here, we can take control of it as a quick effect, and so they can't summon it in response. There's a Tri-Brigade. Okay, so put the Nerval in. Oh no, they got Kit instead. Kit goes into the graveyard, allows you to find a card from your deck. And then put it into your hand, I believe. No, into the graveyard. There's the Nerval. This allows you to put a card into your hand. Okay. From here, you should pick another Kit, put it onto the field, but he wants a special summon instead. Alright. opponent tri-regates, you gotta find out the moment to take the combo correctly. They can't do it as an instant speed, so in fact, so we can just grab it now. We are in a very crucial, we're in a very critical environment. So essentially, we took control of it, and we gave it an extra 1,000 attack points. And they ran out of normal summons for this turn. They do have one card side there deck, which should probably run 3 copies of, which allows them to discard the Karis. So if they can do this, they can start the chain going. Which I hope they can't do. Because when they get off, yeah, that stops their combo. Yeah, see, that's how you win against Tri-Brigade, guys. You have to realize when you need to use the mind control effect, or when what to negate, or what to move out. Tenki will just steamroll into a giant combo piece, and this allows them to banish stuff from their graveyard, allowing them to summon a level 3 Link monster. It's just nuts. Tri-Brigade is extremely, extremely sticky and extremely powerful. However, since we can control them, they cannot kill us. Aha. Well, it depends on what they did. We're very lucky they didn't get a second one of those guys. Okay, let's see what the opponent has for us today. Not ideal, but not the worst hand in the world. Let's go for Zoro. We can't bait them out with anything, so... What you got for us, Blue Eyes? Fact Miller? Maxi? What you have? Infinite Imperm. Ew. Ew. Go into Artemis from here, but that won't do anything because we need to summon up another monster. And we can't do anything else from there. It's unfortunate. Sure. Say go. And that's a scary card. Targeting that. So, discard this card, target one effect monster you control, send in the graveyard if you do, special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Oof. So, it has to go like this. So we activate you. Target another card. No. Okay, so we're going to worry about this at the end phase. There's a Spirit Dragon. Banish it. I'm not into being banished. Let's just say that. Tribute this card, special summon one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand. Okay. Oh boy. Oh no. Cards. We could do this, but I don't think that's the play. Damage step. Could destroy that, but no. Very important to do it next turn. Although I'm pretty sure your opponent has some sort of trap card here, or maybe an imperm themselves, because they already used one this turn or this game. Turn change. Let's go. Draw. Very good. Okay, we use the Vitra. Go ahead. Summon up Zaro again. Will the opponent be able to respond? They can contribute this to summon a Blue Eyes from hand. Can't say I'm too much a fan of that, but it is what it is. Now Zoro was on the field, targeting for the ability. I know you have this stupid thing here. Or these two lads to do something. Okay. Activate the ability of Zorora. Go for it. Negates the abilities. How sad. Skill drain. It's very unfortunate. For us to remove that. Pain. We can go 2. It won't do us very good. Summon then Raru. Then Varam. Summon Varam? We can kill them? Because when he's destroyed, destroys all the cards that they have too. Alright. Let's do it like this. If I'm not mistaken. Oh boy. All right. Let's go like such into Varham the Valiant Dragon. And then we're just gonna have to battle straight into this. Boop. Okay, activate the ability. It's no longer in the field, destroys all face-up cards they control. This is a very dangerous play. Extremely dangerous play. Because we are wide open against a Blue Eyes deck. Not wide open, we do have one thing inside our yard. But this guy has the ability to put a Blue Eyes into his hand again. Oh no. He's gonna banish this. There's a Pot of Desires. And refueling. Refueling. Ending the turn there, okay? So we're not scared of infinite imperm this turn. Which isn't the end here. So Riolia, please let this go out. Please have no Ash Blossoms inside that hand. You do not. Haha. Riolia gets to find a... No. Magic or trap card. Come on. Don't you dare Ash Blossom this. You're gonna infinite impermanent instead, you monster. That's very unfortunate. And we don't have an Artemis in the yard. So for this to happen, we need to do it like such. We need to activate Artemis from here by distributing Riolia, putting Artemis into the field. Opponent has something else in their hand. Maxi. What a monster. I am not in a hurry. On guard. I don't care how many things need to die before you do. They have 3 cards in hand. A lot of hand traps. No Ash Blossoms yet. Or they lost them all through the banishment effect. Let's see what they got. They're gonna end their turn like so. We have a Twin Twister, which is useless. We summon off the Crawley. Activate the effect of Artemis whenever a Magistus monster enters the battlefield. You can target the Magistus monster, then equip it to her. Activate the ability of Artemis, allowing us to fetch a card from our deck. The card has to be Riolia. Just another way of like summoning another monster. That'd be great. But all I can do is just equip it with a Varum. And Varum's not going to do too much here. I could destroy that card. That's all I could do. Set this over here. This is dangerous play. What if I'm walking to a Mirror Force? Crazy. Who the fuck uses Mirror Force? Okay. Not too much of a problem. We'll end our turn like that. Oh god. I have to use Riolia. Or Leona. Ending a phase. Okay. I have no problem just smacking you with my fucking Crawley. You know what? Fuck you. Take this. What was that? Yeah, return the dragon. Dare you. The reason why I'm not too fucking upset about this is because we can still use Artemis' effect in order to fetch a card from our deck, which we still have one Riolia. Thank God. Any more hand traps? Huh? Huh? Got this. As such, over here. Fantastic. Find the Monster Reborn spell. Activate the Monster Reborn spell. Vitra on the battlefield, allowing us to summon up the Zoroark again. There we go. Bloody fucking da. Are you happy now, Blue Eyes White Dragon deck? Are you happy you made me do this? Activate the ability. Okay, Zoroark, go ahead. I'm going to hit you so damn hard. God damn you. Activate the effect. Yeah, go for it. Do this as well. Okay, in the graveyard, you can go over here. What are we going to do now? We are going to... You have anything in here? Got anything here? Huh? Got nothing. Nothing. Alright. What do we got? What do we got? A lot of crap is what I see. We go to access code from here. Fine, I can go to access code from here. You. Go for it. Then we go into Selene. And then for Selene, we're gonna activate the ability. You know what? Fuck this. Fuck this shit. I have no time for this. No patience at all. You know what? Take this. I'm not even gonna use Selene's ability. I'm gonna go punch you in the face. You bury me, you piece of shit. I'm gonna be very sad. Okay. Go. Forward. Access code talker. Getting the amount of power equal to the Selene. Good. Fantastic. Fucking la-di-da. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy birthday. And welcome back to the post-game wrap. Oh boy, this is my fourth or third time doing this because I had to re-record this due to the lack of music. But Magistus, amazing archetype. I'm not gonna lie, it's very sticky. It has ways of like coming back and doing things that people don't really expect. Magistus is just bonkers as a continuous spell. So prevents destruction by equipment once per turn. Allows you to special summon in addition a spellcaster. It doesn't even have to be a Magistus monster, which is why it's alright with the invocation engine. And then you can send it to like send as many Magistus monsters from your hand onto the field as you would like. But generally you don't want to do that because having an additional summon is more than enough. And very rarely will you have a bunch of monsters with different names in your hand. At most, you'll have 4, which is still not a great idea to do. I've never gotten the hand though, where you just have Trismagus and then 1, 2, 3, 4 cards inside hand, because you're going to summon half of them. So why would you bother removing everything? Because Zoroark can summon an additional one. It's just a redundant effect, in my opinion. But there are ways of there is a way that this is being used to your advantage in some of the games I've done, which is that you can use this to remove it from the field, then special summon, but on the special summon trigger, you activate infinite impermanence or something like that, and that will work like that. So that'd be one instance that you want to do it. But yeah, Magistus is pretty damn, it's pretty damn funny. It's fun, it's strong, but it's not amazing or top tier. It can get stomped out really easily. It can get basically countered by a few other stronger archetypes of this deck. We are very fortunate in the fact that if we know the combos, we can kind of play against it a little bit if we're on the play. But if we're on the draw, there's no coming back from it. A lot of the decks here, they'll lock you out on turn 1 if you don't have any sorts of response. That's why a quarter of our deck is just literally hand traps. And just hand traps. So many ways that the opponent can do this. Like, in higher tier matches, this probably could take you down to Platinum and higher, or even get to Platinum 1 if you're like diligent about it, but still. It's probably not the best deck on the format, or to grind levels or spend cards on. But to be fair, it's not very expensive. Look at this. There's like these cards I'm using like nearly all my other decks except for Riola. She's like the one card that you have to specifically make. But even then, it's very situational when you would use her as well. So she's not quintessential, but she is important in some instances. I think Sparrow Load is by far the MVP in this deck because it allows you to negate stuff, it allows you to get stuff back, and it allows you to activate the Artemis in addition to it. So it's pretty damn good. But yeah, that's everything I have to say about this deck, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like it, subscribe for more content like this, and join our Discord if you have any questions, or in the comments below if you have any questions about this. And you want to support the channel in other ways, like I said, watching the content is supporting, but if you go to my website, tabletop.ie, you can support us financially to do more videos and all this stuff. But that's everything I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and catch you all next time.